Alright, so this one came pretty far. This is from Nevada. And this one came even further. This one came from California. This is the car that is a week and a half late. So we have to figure out how we're going to do this one because the week window that we had was last week. And I don't know how we're going to do this. We're going to have to probably work weekends and late nights, but we'll talk about this in a separate video. But this car just arrived. This is like part of the walk around. We always do a walk around and videotape, that way we can stop at any point. All right, so this is a 2006 Honda Insight with a manual transmission. This car is completely stock. We're gonna do one of our bolt-on turbo kits. Nice thing about this turbo kit, doesn't intercept or change anything on the car. Everything is completely OEM drivability, gives it a little boost in power. It's only about 30 to 35 horsepower boost in power, but everything remains stock. Fuel system remains stock. It will still pass emissions and be quite happy, and actually gets a little bit better gas mileage, believe it or not. I will go into detail on that later, but we have built several of these and stayed in contact with some of the customers about long-term drivability and MPG and all that. So this car is getting an LHT brake package, and we're going to do red powder-coated calipers. I just want to give a quick close-up right now so you can see what they look like. This is the 08, so it's got the newer, the V3 wheels, so they're pretty open. You can see the calipers real good, but you can see the rotor is kind of got that rusty look. Well, the rotors we're going to use are powder-coated, and just the friction area is going to be raw, so it's going to look a whole lot prettier, and plus with the red calipers, it's going to stand out on this black car. So we're going to show you step by step. You've seen us do the brake package before it's finished. So now we have the LHT brake package on with the red powder-coated calipers, which really stands out. The rotors look nicer, calipers look nicer. It really does work well against the black. It's got the red seats. I'll tell you what I'd like in this car is some red seat belts. I'm a big fan of those, but that really tidies the car up. The car could use a detail, but now that looks definitely better. So this just has to be driven. Set the brakes. We do an initial brake-in on the brakes. It takes about 100 miles to fully brake them in, which you're basically setting the pad on the rotor so they are making even contact. Often you'll look at your brakes and you'll see it's only touching part of the rotor at first. Well, we haven't even used these brakes right now. This is just for picture's sake, but what you will see is partial contact on that rotor. You want to make sure at about 100 miles you got full contact. That way you know it is braking correctly. You're using all of your pad. But this one is done. This one definitely looks good. Alright, so this one is done, and again, just want to verify, this isn't to make the car into a race car. It adds about 30 to 35 horsepower. Just makes it a little bit more fun to drive and accelerates a little easier. It's kind of gives you the performance of like a 9091 CRX SI back in the day for you guys that have ever drove those. So we've actually had a couple of customers that are really into the gas mileage end of things. They've said they've increased gas mileage quite a bit because of the scavenging effect of the turbo. Without having to give it as much gas, it does help make the engine a little bit more efficient under light and partial throttle. Okay, so we are trying to get everything finished before SEMA. George and I leave on Saturday. Today is Friday. The Insight just left beginning of the week. The Red S2000 is going back to Nevada. It just left yesterday after dealing with 2 trucks. That is a whole fiasco in itself. I want to make a video on that car, and I'll show you at the end the amount of headache it was trying to get that car on the truck, and the first guy just took off. So it's actually kind of funny afterwards, but it's kind of crunch time, and part of going away is you don't want to leave any loose ends. I'm the type of person that wants everything taken care of. I want my customers happy. I want cars out. I want anything in the shop. There's no reason for a car to be taking up space in my shop when it could be taking up space in the customer's garage, and better yet, him driving it. That's what it's all about. I don't make any money, cars sitting, and that doesn't help the customer. All right, guys, so this guy and this guy are going to Vegas. So if you are leaving messages or emailing, you're not going to get a response because we are away. Esther's away also, but we will try and hook up with you guys in Vegas. If you want to meet him or me, PM me or PM him. Yeah. We'll try and meet you somewhere. We'll do like a official, unofficial meet and a hangout and a hey and what's going on. Sound good?
Sounds good to
me.
me.
Do that?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll see you on the next video, and like I always say, enjoy your cars.
Yep.